everybody, today's video is all about working out to create a long, lean, slim body as a woman. So we're not focusing on how to work out for men in this video, but we're focusing on how to work out for a woman if your goal is to slim down. I want to preface this video by saying if you work out in a particular way and you like the results that you're getting and you like the effects and it feels good to you, then continue to do that. But what I'm seeing in my own practice, when I was a personal trainer, now I teach fitness classes in very particular ways, is that women are not happy with the results that they're getting at the gym through conventional ways of working out. And here's why. A lot of women do not want to gain too much muscle. Now, I'm sure you've heard lots of personal trainers say that women cannot gain muscle like men can, which is true. We don't have the same kind of hormones in our body that men do that allow us to grow muscles as big as men do, but we do grow muscle just the same. So we do grow muscle, and even if that bit of muscle that grows is too much for a particular woman's liking, it's too much for her and she's not going to be happy with the results. What we see in conventional ways of exercising is we're working very big composite movements that recruit a lot of muscle fibers, which in turn start to make our muscles bigger. A perfect example is someone who is maybe a long distance runner compared to someone who's a sprinter. Now, maybe the sprinter is more lean, like they have more muscle definition, but their muscles are going to be bigger. You see a sprinter's legs, and their legs are big compared to someone who does more of a long, slow distance kind of program. Their legs may not be as defined, but they are going to be smaller. Now, here's the thing. Women, lots of women, and I'm not saying all women, but lots of women don't want big muscles. We don't want big legs. We don't want big butts. We don't want our inner thighs to rub. We don't want big jacked arms. Yeah, maybe we want a little bit of definition, but we don't necessarily want a stacked six-pack. We just want to feel feminine. We want to feel long and lean. We want to feel strong, and we want to look slim. Most importantly, we want to fit into regular clothing. We don't want to have to spend our lives in stretchy pants because our quads and our glutes are overdeveloped and we don't fit into regular clothes anymore, which can happen with conventional methods of training. Let's start with cardio. Now, cardio is a crucial component of any exercise program when the goal is to stay slim. Again, higher intensity cardio is great, but we want to be really careful how much of that we're doing in a week. I like to aim for between 3 to 4 cardio sessions a week, ranging at around half an hour to 45 minutes each. Now, I know that there's been a really big wave that's come in through the fitness industry saying, you don't need to do any cardio, just do weights, just do body weight circuit training. And that can be helpful and beneficial. But again, when we're looking at an overall balanced workout program, if you're continuously doing just those high intensity kind of CrossFit kind of workouts, you're going to get bigger muscles. And more importantly, you're probably going to get injured by doing the same thing over and over again. So you want to make sure that you're incorporating cardio into your program 3 to 4 times a week that keeps you at a moderate intensity that's still challenging and where you could still add some intervals in if you would like. I know what you're probably thinking. Oh my God, she's going to tell me I have to run. You don't have to run. Running can actually overdevelop our quads. So if you're looking to get into a program where you thin your legs out, the best exercise that you can do is walking. And I know walking doesn't seem like it would be that helpful or that it's going to do that much, but this is over a long period of time too. When we're looking at health and fitness, we want to look at it from a lifestyle perspective, not just a short-term perspective. So if you're doing anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes of walking at a moderate intensity, maybe even adding some intervals in, walking fast, walking slower, and we're doing this over the course of months and years, it really does make a big difference, and it shapes our legs so nicely. Walking is also great mentally. It's great for our lymphatic system. It is just a great overall exercise that's low impact, easy on our joints, and everyone can do it no matter where you are. You don't need a gym. A perfect example is you can hop on a treadmill, walk for a minute, and then walk faster for a minute, almost on the verge of a slow jog. Do that for 30 to 40 minutes with a 5-minute warm-up, 5-minute cool down, and that is a really great way to get your cardio in without running. When it comes to different types of cardio like the stair climber, the elliptical, an exercise bike, swimming, these are all really great forms of cardio, but we need to be mindful when we're trying to shape a long, lean, slim body of how these types of cardio are going to affect our muscles. If you're spending too much time on the stair climber, for example, you'll probably start to overdevelop your quads and your glutes and your hamstrings, so your legs will get bigger because you're working those muscles more. The action is a stepping instead of a stride. I would recommend to do the stair climber maybe once a week at, again, a moderate intensity, not too slow, not sprinting all the time. Sometimes I like to do intervals on the stairs, but maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And then I'll make sure that I go for a walk, or I'll do some more working out afterwards to kind of flush out my legs so they're not just staying in the same position the whole workout that I'm doing. Stair climber is great. It's really great to get your heart rate up. If you're training for climbing mountains, again, it's a great way to work out, but we want to be mindful about what it's doing to our body long term. Spin class. This is one I get asked about all the time. I like biking because it's low impact, it's easy on our joints. But what I find with majority of women, including myself, is that too much cycling makes our legs bigger, because that's basically the only body part that we're using when we're in that position. Our legs end up getting bigger, and we see this a lot with people that do a ton of spin all the time, especially when you're putting the resistance up. Again, you're recruiting all those muscle fibers, and it's just like sprinting. It's going to build your legs up. So if you're trying to thin out your legs, or if you have too much muscle and you're trying to reduce some of the muscle that you have in your legs, spin is probably not the best option. That being said, on the exercise bike, if you put the resistance low enough and you can actually just get a good spin without the resistance, that would be a much better way to perform that cardio to slim out your legs. Swimming is a really great alternative as well. I personally do not swim. I don't like how swimming makes my lats and shoulders bigger. I don't like the whole process of putting on a bathing suit, getting my hair wet. Bleach and chlorine do not really mix. It's just a whole process that I'm not really the biggest fan of, but for toning legs, it is an amazing workout, low impact. So if you're going through an injury and you're rehabilitating yourself, that is also something effective that you can do as well. So that's kind of your cardio component. My consensus is for that moderate, longer duration intensity that you would want to do some walking. That is probably going to be your best bet. But again, it has to be intentional, not like a 15-minute meander around your neighborhood walking your dog. It has to be intentional for long enough to really see the results, the cardiovascular results that you would from cardio fitness. Moving on to weight training. So I stopped heavy lifting, how long ago now? Probably 4 years. And it took that long for my body to really change shape. So when I first started working out, way back, I just did cardio and I did some core and some Pilates, and that was the foundation of my workout. And my body was in great shape. I felt good, my clothes fit well. And then as I got into the fitness industry, went to school, became a personal trainer, I started to develop different modalities of training. So I got into Olympic lifting and CrossFit and your traditional strength training, but lifting really heavy weights, and my body started to change. It got stronger, but it started to change in a way that I didn't like. And I am a woman that puts on muscle, so all the personal trainers out there that say women can't put on muscle, some women can, and some women don't like the way that big muscle looks on them. If muscle is too big and it's not long and it's not lean and it's not trim, there's a lot of women that don't like it. So it doesn't matter what you think as a personal trainer, especially male personal trainers, if a woman doesn't like it, she doesn't like it. No means no. One of the biggest tips that I can give you to take away is to stop lifting heavy weights. Stop heavy squats, stop heavy lunges, stop heavy deadlifts, and your legs will slim out. I am not the only woman who has stopped training like that and started training different, who has found that their legs have gotten slimmer. This is one of the biggest problems that I currently see when I go to gyms and I'm watching how most male trainers and even a lot of female trainers are training their typical middle-aged woman client. Is they're getting them to do sled pushes and heavy squats and walking lunges with huge dumbbells and farmer walks, and these are okay. They're fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with these exercises. It's not like they're damaging the woman's body or increasing injury risk unless the form is off and it's too heavy for them. But what's happening is a lot of these women aren't seeing the results that they want. They don't want to see big muscles. They don't like that look. And what's happening is that's what they're seeing. They're not seeing that long, slim, kind of feminine build that they actually had in their mind when they probably signed up to work with that trainer. That being said, nothing against the women that lift heavy, that love to lift heavy, that like to look ripped and shredded and like six pack and huge muscles, whatever. Totally fine, you do you, but majority of women don't want to look like that. So that's what this video is all about. It's for the women that actually just don't want to look like that. So what should you do then for strength training? Because strength training is still so important. It's a crucial part of any workout program, especially to maintain lean muscle as we get older. Our muscle starts to decline. When our muscle starts to decline, our metabolism goes down, so we can keep our metabolism higher if we're incorporating weight training. But it doesn't have to be heavy weight. It can be our body weight. It can be with resistance bands. It can be really light weights. Those are the types of exercises that I would recommend. If you are going to incorporate actual weights like dumbbells or barbells or cables, then keep your weight low, your rep range high, and try to stay away from hypertrophy. So we don't want to grow the muscle, but we want to keep it strong. We want to keep it lean. We want to keep it toned, but we don't want it to go bigger. So staying in a higher rep range without building that muscle is really important. And we can do that quite easily with body weight exercises, with bands, and really, really light weights. And with all that being said, the other huge component of building a long, lean body is through the food that we eat. And we can go and work out and do all of these things for our body that's healthy, but if we're eating the wrong foods at the wrong time, then our body's not going to respond the way that we want it to. So I'm going to give you a few tips to help keep your body slim, to help you feel great, and to incorporate all the nutrients that you need throughout the day. Tip number 1, make sure you include protein with your breakfast pre-workout. A lot of programs will tell you to eat your protein directly after your workout, but if you're not concerned with building muscle, which you're probably watching this video because you're not so concerned with building muscle per se, big muscle, consuming protein after the workout isn't as crucial as before. Starting your morning with a high quality protein source will help take care of you through your workout. It will keep your blood sugar stable. And then after your workout, make sure that you're having a healthy snack, which can have protein as well, but you don't need to down protein shakes or eat a bunch of protein bars. Tip number 2, drink lots of water a day. Now, lots of water is different for everyone. I myself drink about 6 liters of water a day. I make sure that I am always carrying a bottle of water with me wherever I go. Might be a little bit OCD, but I like to stay hydrated. A lot of the time we can mistake hunger for thirst, and water is really going to help us flush out all the toxins. It's going to keep us feeling full so we don't overconsume food, and water is just good for our body for so many different reasons that we can't even go into this video because that would be the whole video. Tip number 3, this will come as no surprise. Cut out sugar, cut out processed foods. If you want to have a lean body, you're going to have to eat clean, whole foods and ditch the sugar, ditch the processed foods, ditch the crappy oils that aid in inflammation and weight gain. Those things need to be cut out of your diet. At the end of the day, whether you follow a vegan diet, a paleo diet, or whatever kind of diet you subscribe to, cutting out sugar and processed foods is going to be your first plan of attack in order to keep your body at a healthy weight and to slim down. Tip number 4, stop eating after dinner. I have said this over and over and over again, and I will say it over and over again as many times as I need to. One of the best ways that we can stay at a healthy weight, improve our sleep quality, improve our digestion is to stop eating after dinner and to give ourselves anywhere from 3 to 5 hours of not eating before we go to bed. If you can do that, you're doing a form of intermittent fasting. I like to have about 13 to 14 hours in between my last meal to my next meal the next day. And I do that by stopping eating right after dinner, which is usually around 6, and then my next meal isn't usually until around 7 or 8 o'clock the next day. And that's my 13-14 hour fast, and you don't really even know you're doing it, but your body really does respond well. You don't need to consume food after dinner. Most of the time you're not hungry, you've just formed a bad habit. So that will be one of the best ways to lose weight, maintain a healthy weight, and to slim down if you're finding that you just can't lose that extra little bit of weight or your clothes aren't fitting exactly as you would like them to. That can be a really great strategy to incorporate as well. I can make this video so much longer talking about all the different diet tips and exercise tips, and I can make another video if you guys are interested in it, but I really wanted to get the point across that not all women want to look like bodybuilders, and we need to train our bodies differently if we want to look different. So if you want to look like a bodybuilder and you want a lot of muscle and you want bigger legs, then you will do all the conventional ways of training. But if you want to have the body of a dancer, to have that model-esque kind of body, then we have to train differently in order to achieve that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up, like it, share it, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. All right, that's it for now. Have a good day. Bye-bye.